Hello everyone, this is Kona, and thank you for tuning in to another video. Now today I want to talk about watching video games and playing video games because I've noticed that, well, I think I'm actually watching more video games than actually playing, and it's kind of weird. I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or not. More specifically, I've been doing that with Dota, especially with the Frankfurt Major and stuff. I've been watching a lot of video games rather than actually playing Dota. It's sometimes hard to sit down and actually play it, and it just seems a little bit easier to watch. I'm not sure if that's a good thing to actually maybe substitute watching for playing. Not really sure. I know a while ago, I used to make fun of people that watched sports. I was like, why are you so into watching sports? I mean, you can go and play it. But I realize now that I'm doing almost the same thing with video games pretty much. Only this case, you know, I understand people who watch sports and don't play it because sometimes you're maybe not athletic enough to play it, and I understand that. But with video games, it seems both are very easily accessible, yet sometimes I tend to watch video games instead. Now, watching video games is nothing really new for me. I've been doing it since, before Twitch and all this kind of stuff. I used to actually watch my cousins play video games because they were really good at it, and it was entertaining for me to just sit down and watch them play. Things like arcade, sometimes you can't play yourself, so you just watch other people play. So watching video games really isn't anything new. It's really a part of gaming culture, but it's even more so now because of things like Twitch and YouTube gaming. Over the past couple of years, I've noticed a trend in the way that I participate in the gaming culture. Not only play video games, but I'm continuing to watch more, to the point where I think I'm actually watching more than I play. I'm not exactly sure because, there's no count. Imagine if there was a counter, kind of like Steam, how it tracks your hours playing a game. Imagine if they had that for watching video games. I'll probably be really embarrassed on how much time I actually spend watching. But yeah, this got me thinking, well, why do we like to watch so many video games? And I think the first reason is just entertainment, kind of like sports. And I know esports, it can be a completely separate topic on its own, and I won't get into too much detail. But basically, yeah, I think esports is going to be pretty big in the future as this upcoming generation grows up with it and it becomes socially acceptable. Another reason why I think we like watching people play video games is because we think the person is entertaining or they're just really good at the game. And going back to my example of watching my cousins play, when I was doing that, I was able to sit down next to them and sort of experience the game with them, have that social interaction. And maybe that's kind of missing in our generation because nowadays everything is online. It's very hard to sit down next to a person and actually play a game together, or at least watch them play. Nowadays, it's just kind of, well, everything is done online. Even watching is done online. So maybe that's why we watch so much, is because we miss that sort of social interaction, especially with chat nowadays, with YouTube and Twitch having interactive chat. You sort of have this social interaction, not quite like sitting down next to them, but, it's some sort of social interaction with the person playing the game. So another reason why you might want to watch a game is because maybe you can't play the game. For example, Overwatch. I know Overwatch is in closed beta, and I think they're going to be opening it up for more people, so that's kind of nice. But when the Overwatch closed beta started, I didn't have a key at that time. So the only way for me to learn more about the game was to watch other people play. Also, for something like Star Wars Battlefront, there was a lot of hype about that game, so I checked out Twitch and all these other YouTube videos to figure out if I wanted to buy the game. And sometimes that can be good when you watch other people to figure out, like, hey, is this game worth it? Does it seem like something I'm interested in? It's nice to have a little preview, or at least watch someone play it to get a feel for it, because I know sometimes we can get all hype over just trailers, and that's not always the best. You want to see real gameplay, so watching someone play it can be a good thing. On the other hand, it can be kind of spoilers, especially when they start streaming or playing the game before the game is officially out. I notice nowadays it's really hard to get surprised by games. It just seems like back then you would buy a game without really knowing too much about it and kind of jump into it and get to experience things for the first time. But nowadays people play through things so fast, and you sort of get the gist of it by watching someone, that nothing comes as too much of a surprise anymore. And speaking of playthroughs, Let's Plays of single-player campaigns of games seems really popular on YouTube and on Twitch, and this feels like a gray area to me, because someone's just playing through the game the single player game, very story driven game, and posting all that online for other people to watch for free. So a lot of the hard work that went into writing the story and doing all that stuff in single player is available for anyone to watch for free. And I'll admit, I actually watch some games instead of play them because sometimes I don't want to go through the mechanics of a game. For example, Metal Gear Solid, MGS, that whole series, I just absolutely love that series. I love the story of that series, but I actually haven't finished any of the games. I think I only tried MGS1 and I haven't finished it. I end up watching that game instead on Twitch or something when they have marathons from Outer Heaven Network, United, that channel. I love watching that channel and, you know, being there with the chat and, you know, having all those chat stuff. It's so funny. The fiddle, that's hilarious. But, you know, stuff like that, you know, maybe something like Beyond Two Souls, which is getting a re-release on PS4. That is very, very story driven. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of mechanics. I think there is, but it seems like almost like an interactive movie basically. And yet people are probably going to stream it and people are probably going to watch it without really playing it. And, you know, that's why it's kind of a gray area. I don't know if it's okay or not, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, you don't have to watch someone play the game and have it spoiled for you. You can always hold off and play the game yourself. For example, and it's a little embarrassing to admit, but I'll just say it anyway. I have not played the Half-Life series. I know being like a huge Valve fan, it seems kind of weird, but I haven't actually played through the Half-Life series. I do have it from the orange box, but I haven't played through it. And this is one of those things where I haven't played through it, but I also haven't watched any of it yet. So my plan is to play through that series leading up to Half-Life 3 to experience both the gameplay and the story and hopefully enjoy Half-Life 3 when it eventually comes out. I don't know when it's going to come out, Valve time, you never know, but of course you've seen all those leaks of Valve is working on it, so you know we can look forward to that in the future. So my question for you is, why do you like to watch video games? If you watch a lot of video games, why is that? And what kind of stuff do you like to watch? And also, maybe you don't like to watch video games, and if that, you know, maybe you like to play more than you like to watch. If so, let me know in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.